Hi, friends. Host Eric here. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People, which is the internet television program that constantly blows your mind. Why? Because welcome to the wonders of amazing majesty. What do you get here Talking with Famous People? You get non-stop wonders, amazement, and majesty. If you join this channel for a second, if you're watching 1 second of a video, you're either getting a wonder, you're getting amazement, or you're getting majesty. One of those three. Maybe all three. Sometimes when you tune in Talking with Famous People, you're wonderfully amazed at the majesty. Other times, you're just awed by the wonders. Still, other times, you're just intimidated by the majesty. It's hard to say what your experience will be, except to say that it will involve wonders, amazement, and majesty. The three main ingredients of Talking with Famous People. So, it's Saturday morning. It's not really a very good time to live stream. I'm probably not going to get much attendance here. But I woke up earlier than usual. I woke up about 6:30 today. And woke up feeling pretty good. Woke up feeling ready to meet the day. I know that I've got to go do some errands and stuff with my dad today. But it's not for a while. So, Rachel and I had a little difficulties last night. I see there as being a lot of fear implicit in the long distance relationship. And when we don't feel secure, people get defensive or reactive or whatever. It's not easy to persist on what you know about a relationship in the absence of that person for long periods of time, unless you keep the faith. You got to keep the faith. Anyway, we're fine. Everybody gets moody, and people express their moods in different ways, and it's very important for Rachel to get enough sleep. It's important for me to get enough sleep too. Regardless, we're fine. Hopefully she got enough sleep. And adulthood can be difficult, is what it boils down to. Adulthood is difficult. Adulthood requires us to be less reactive in general, I think. And, our reactions are our autopilot. So when we react without pausing, we indulge in our more childlike expression. And adulthood requires us to pause and to not indulge in reflex. And that's difficult. But adulthood also means staying big picture, remembering that feelings pass, At any given moment, a person might be angry or frustrated or scared or whatever, and you probably shouldn't put a lot of weight in stuff they say when they're in that state of being. This too shall pass, as they say in Alcoholics Anonymous. This too shall pass. I'm a big believer in a good night's sleep in general. I have discovered that whenever I'm feeling hollow, empty, or unsatisfied, or frustrated, or whatever, it almost always links to my SI. It almost always means I need to get more sleep, or that I need to eat, or something like that. I don't know if that's true for everybody, but it's definitely true for me. It's like, if I don't actively stay on top of, no, I'm not hollow this morning. I feel fine. I feel good. Rachel and I had some somewhat challenging conversations last night, but I see those as based in fear primarily. And no, I don't feel hollow this morning, actually. I feel whole, which is nice. I've got my own issues to deal with regarding Adderall and stuff. I'm coming to understand that I don't necessarily like how it makes me feel. And I don't necessarily like the state of manic production that I put myself into on purpose month after month, because I'm not sure exactly why. Interestingly, my INFJ friend Corey once commented that he didn't understand why it was that I always felt the need to be productive. Right. Well, I mean, the challenge I face with Rachel is distinguishing between things that are symptomatic and things that are not symptomatic. Right. Well, I'd like to thank Winston's mom, and I don't pass this judgment on myself lightly, but I'd like to think that I try my best to. I like to think I'm very successful at removing anger and other such things from my conversations with her. Now, I have been since the episode. There's no point in yelling at somebody, or getting angry when it doesn't appear that it's a willful expression of antagonism or something. But like I was saying, the challenge is knowing knowing, I mean, I think I can recognize it. It's like during the conversation last night, I was raising certain concerns, asking her some questions, and she did this thing that I've seen her do before, where she's responding to a bunch of stuff I'm not saying, and presuming that well, sometimes it seems almost as though she thinks she's talking to somebody else. Yeah. So, the thing is, I suspect she gets a little bit like that anytime that she isn't managing her SI stuff very well. So that's a challenge too. And the challenge is talking to her about it in a way that's respectful and loving and solvency oriented. And also to remember the number one. Yeah, exactly, Winston's mom. So the key thing is for me to remember the big picture, which is Rachel snaps back just fine. She just needs to crash, probably. And the challenge is she's powerfully insomniac. Like, even when she takes a bunch of strong sleeping pills and it's the middle of the night, even when she was in the hospital in the emergency room and they had doped her up full of all kinds of shit to make her sleep, when I showed up to visit her, she woke up and started talking to me, sat up. She didn't remember it, but that's FE tool function, maybe. I don't know. She's hyper aware of when she's alone or not alone. And when she's not alone, that FE tool function makes her hyper aware of the other person's attention. I think it's fair to say Rachel needs a decent amount of alone time, which is fine and good and everything. I'm not opposing that at all. And I suspect that together, Rachel and I will figure out Rachel and what the patterns are, like you said there, Winston's mom, and how to make this work. The thing is, I just it just requires that we keep the faith. It requires we both keep the faith, and that we're not wavering at all in our big picture frame. And that's more challenging, I think, for her than it is for me, because there is something of a power disparity in the relationship. Yeah, I noticed. I was thinking about the full moon yesterday too, and it's like I've not been one who ever believed that that the full moon has any impact or anything, but I think some people may be impacted differently than others. I'm not sure. The test I took yesterday was called Big Five Psychometrics test or something like that. Thing is, it's been difficult, I think, for Rachel to sustain stable friendships and stuff, because when she gets a little symptomatic, she tends to get fairly aggressive and push people away, So it's one of the things that I hope this environment can provide for her, which is it's a mistake-tolerant environment and full of empathetic people. It's like for an INFJ to make social mistakes and then return and come back around and deal with the aftermath of that is almost impossibly tragic. It's like INFJs aren't supposed to make social mistakes. And so, what does one do when one's an INFJ who periodically gets symptomatic? I mean, you got to be around real people who aren't looking for reasons to dismiss you or looking for reasons to throw you away. Oh yeah, that's nice to hear. I sure was psyched. You keep talking about that guy. I gotta check him out. Oh, here come the waterworks. Right. You know the fable of the man trying to ride his donkey over a bridge and everyone wanted to tell him how to ride. Exactly. Rachel will face this, but here she is safe. I agree. She is safe here. No one's going to try to, hopefully, exploit her symptomatic behaviors into critiques of her character and nature. So, the thing is, it's pretty difficult as an adult for most people to. It's pretty difficult for most people as adults to make new friends in a meaningful sense. If you are somewhat isolated and you're in your 30s and you want to make more IRL friends, you've got to do some shit. Like you got to go out, you got to try to meet people, and all those people, they're tight relationships. The people they actually spend the most time with, that's already set probably. They don't really have room for new people to play a substantial role in their life. Most adults are sort of like that. This channel is the place for all those of us who didn't fit with our geographic people. It's like here I was, 42, divorced, and alone, more or less. I had a couple of real life friends, but they were in their 40s too, and they're busy doing their thing, and they don't have time to hang out and whatever. And YouTube was where I found friends. The thing is, I'm not easy to be friends with either. But here people understand and keep talking. It's like more important than understanding, they keep talking. It's like, I don't like firm conclusions to things. I like shit to give me as much time as I need to talk shit out. And I figure that if I'm allowed to talk shit out adequately, and that if I'm heard adequately, then problems will solve. Hi, Ken Krishna Sarma Pagoo. Of mental illness, they embrace a cancer patient but won't answer the phone when someone who's very ill minus the obvious physical symptoms needs help. Yeah. The thing is, I get what you're saying there about the difference between mental illness and physical illness is that mental illness is fundamentally somebody behaving badly, as far as most people are concerned. And when people behave badly, then other people get upset with them. They don't get sympathetic. When somebody's like intentionally trying to push your buttons, it's natural to respond with pushback, anger, and that's not going to do any good when if somebody's being symptomatic, quote unquote. My challenge, of course, is also going to be when I believe it's like, if I believe she's being symptomatic and she's insisting she's not, that this is just part of who she is when she's expressing her stable self, then I don't know where to go with that. It's like, okay, well, I don't really agree with you. That's what's going on here. But I can't compel her to. It's a difficult thing to talk about, I guess. I don't know. The big five difference? Oh. It's ocean here. It's ocean here, too. That particular test may have labeled it something else, but it's still the same thing. Openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. What they call neuroticism something like negative emotional affect or something like that. Just don't drink as if it's that simple. Or it simply is. Same thing with bipolar. Take your meds. They all know the answers. They know all the answers. Just think of how racial illness may manifest in your helping others. I don't know. They're just different letters for the same thing. Literally, they don't take a look at you unless you're a threat to yourself or someone else. That's in most state law when it comes to mental illness. Well, I just went through that whole thing, Nicholas Watson, when Rachel had an episode, and I had to find a place that would admit her and drug her, basically. So we did manage to get her admitted voluntarily. She did not end up getting to get 5150. I was expecting to get her 5150 because that was the only way I figured I was going to get her admitted. After trying, but the thing is, she wasn't a threat to herself or others. She genuinely wasn't. And that's all there was to it, I didn't see that, Winston's mom. But my mom is currently, we have a place for her that she's going to. It's called Sunrise. It's in San Marino. Sunrise Retirement Home or something. It's got a memory village, which is for people like her. And it's very nice, I must say. Nicholas Watson, I'm sorry to hear about that. You're bipolar with major depression. I think there's quite a few people around talking with people who have some sort of mental illness. I encountered a fair number of them. I wasn't sympathetic really, particularly before. Now I am. That's how Rachel helps me help people, I guess. There's this whole accountability angle that I historically liked to work a lot. And okay, I'll check it out. It's just it's the limit of being the ENTP, I guess. It's the default thing I always say. Well, just need more accountability. People need to accept the truth more or whatever. It's just not true in general. People suffer. Sometimes they suffer in ways that are abrasive. But it's very rare that tough love is appropriate. Occasionally, somebody who's way too entitled and not suffering at all, fine. You want to go outside, baby? Go outside. We're not going to play in and out kitty, though, okay? You make a decision. Oh. Well, Nicholas Watson, I don't know if your bipolar manifests the same way, but regardless, you're certainly welcome here. During the time when my daughter was so ill, we tried various ways to help. We knew, or I knew, that at some point we would lose her and then consider this our fault because of whatever path we took. That's awful. Well, the interesting thing about what I do want to comment a little bit on here, what Vincent's mom said is the comparison being just don't drink. Um, the thing is, that is the answer for that. That actually is the answer for drinking. And that's the answer for everybody who has a drinking problem. It's not a sufficient amount of words for that person, but it's the only actual meaningful answer. It's a little different with mental illness because well, it kind of disrupts your ability to be comfortable. Um, like, although I think that that'll change for me as I get more accustomed to it, you know? Like, as I get more accustomed to it periodically popping up, and then hopefully we both know also that racial illness may knock you down a peg or two on your hierarchy of needs. It makes you vulnerable now also. Well, it makes me emotional. I don't feel especially vulnerable. Uh, I mean, it's an interesting word. You know, from a display perspective, I'm very vulnerable. But the reason I'm very vulnerable from a display perspective is because I'm very invulnerable from a real perspective. It's like the fact that I'm crying right now doesn't make me any easier a potential foe. And it's a trap, you know, if anybody were to even begin to try to exploit what appears to be the weakness of my vulnerability, they discover that I pack nothing but nuclear bombs and more or less don't take shit from no one. So, you know, it's like it's easy to be vulnerable when you're this strong, basically, because you're not actually vulnerable. So I guess there's not really any credit to be taken on it, you know. Interpersonal intelligence is just a practical habit for willingness to improve EQ. Uh, I mean, in that sentence there, one, two, three, I would eliminate the words habit for and just have it say interpersonal intelligence is just a practiced willingness to improve EQ. I mean, overall, I feel like I have that place inside myself. Um, I feel, I don't feel like I have any more insecurities. I mean, I'm sure I do, but not much. I'm good with myself. I'm good to those I love. Things are fine between me and Rachel. It's just, you go along, you get comfortable, you settle into an expectation of yeah, and then you gotta pull over to the side of the road and change a tire. Well, that'll get you 5150 for sure, Nicholas Watson. I feel fortunate Rachel doesn't go there on either angle. She does get angry and kind of spiteful, but unfortunate in that regard. I don't think I could deal with that. I don't feel drowned at all. I feel generally liberated by all the things I encounter in life, difficult, easy, or otherwise. John Tavener. Okay, I'll check it out. I feel tired all of a sudden, of course. The emotion FI makes me exhausted. It's hard. I'm just so glad I'm not an INFP. Okay. I'll get you a Coke. I'm gonna just smoke a cigarette inside the house. Wow. So tired. Meditation might indeed do good for a lot of things. I don't know if I can change my emotions. They seem totally out of my control. But I do know that I can generally detach from my emotions pretty effectively. So, it's possible for me to turn attention away from the thing that's making me sad and thing is, I got to get my mom up at 8:30. That's in less than an hour. And after that, I may come lie down for a little bit before Cameron gets here. When Cameron gets here, my dad and I are going to go do some shit to get this place ready for my mom. And that sounds fine. Sounds dull and okay and fine. In my case, by observing other INTJs, I have realized where my energy goes and why. Positive psychology, energy, frequency, vibration really do affect us. Yeah, well, I mean, where does my energy go and why? It definitely goes a fair amount into caregiving, and that's mostly directed to my mom, but realistically, a certain amount of that I have to direct towards Rachel, like I did yesterday, which, you know, obviously it worries me because I'm not there physically, and there's a limited extent to which I can make progress by talking to her. She's not really listening to me. Yeah, I can't watch news coverage of the elections and politics either. It upsets me. Hi, Matthew. Wait a second. I'm not a loser. How are you today, Matthew? Are you made out of cheese? Are you gathering bees? Do you do what you please? Um, Thank you, Wisdom. I agree, hopefully, that vibration rings true, authentic, and entertaining because it is authentic. Hopefully, it's entertaining. Uh, Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I imagine this video is not especially entertaining because, again, the channel, as I've said many times before, yeah, it has multiple purposes, but it's fundamentally a ontological expression tool for me. What's happening? Oh, not a whole hell of a lot. Having an emotional conversation with Winston's mom and thinking about life, twiddling my wiener to sit here. It's off camera, so you can't see. What else am I doing? About to go smoke this cigarette. Look at the two different channels dividing up, and one channel rings a bit dark while yours rings of cheese and music and agave wisdom. You just have to decide that drama is something you don't do in your relationships. I'm not doing any drama in my relationship. There's no drama with Rachel. It's not drama. It's I don't know what you call it, but it's not drama. No, I don't need 2 hands to dwindle. Something that's unnamed, that's not Dana, equals drama? I mean, what comprises drama, though? It's taking your attention? Drama is that which takes you off your focus. Well, Noah McFarlane, I prefer your explanation. Drama definitely implies a guilty party. One person's into drama, right? That's not the case here. You know, it's, you might call it baggage, but I wouldn't call it drama. Right. Avoid the shame shivers. Fucking plaster that. Fucking plaster that all over my walls. That is rule number 1. Avoid the shame shivers. Which means especially avoid the moral shame shivers. The social shame shivers, those are going to happen sometimes. In drama, who is emotionally attached is a loser. It's an odd expression of the sentence, but I don't know about the rules for drama, but I do know that emotional attachment is the prerequisite to success in a relationship. I had a cat named Suitcase. It's a great name, cat. She was the warehouse cat from transportation company we bought. She retired to a home on the water with a Ponce ferret. Oh, nice. Suitcase is a great name for a cat. I'm really struck by what a great name for a cat that is. Okay, I'm going to stand up now. And I'm going to... Matthew, that goes without saying. It goes without saying that you're just talking shit and not guaranteeing that it makes sense. Well, I mean, Nicholas Watson, the thing is, it's usually that's not the problem in life. That the person is too consistent or loyal or maintains their connections too thoroughly. Usually it's the case that people pitch each other overboard at a moment's notice. So I have to take exception with that. I don't think that it's the case that it's a good idea to disconnect from somebody who's apparently being difficult. But the only person who does deserve your attachment is the one who does not cause drama. He said, I didn't say that. Look, every relationship is going to be comprised of moments of happiness and mutual enjoyment and moments of conflict. But it is true that if an overall holistic evaluation of the thing that most of the engagements with the other party are negative or something like that, then you shouldn't be in that relationship. That's not the case for me, and just because I have it's because I have an evening of difficult conversation with Rachel doesn't mean that it's the wrong relationship. And that's going to be the case for every relationship. You're going to have some difficult conversations. You're going to have some ups and downs. It's unavoidable. You got to look at the big picture. Overall, are the net benefits, do they outweigh the harms? And is this preferable to reasonable alternatives? Those are basic questions you got to ask. It is possible. But see, the thing is, it's not, I don't see it being attached to the wrong people as being a problem. I see allowing that attachment to get you to do things that you don't think are appropriate is a problem. Like you have to have your own boundaries, obviously, but look, I mean, most of the time, people who are behaving badly do so because they're suffering in some sense, and not because of something else. Okay, well, Rachel, it might be the case then, and this is one of the things I talked about being a challenge for me is determining what expressions are symptomatic, which ones are just sort of authentic Rachel. I'm not sure. So, I mean, look, the thing is, Rachel, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that when I talked to you last night in our conversation, you weren't hearing me. You weren't responding to anything I said. Matthew, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna go smoke this cigarette. I am. I feel lost at the moment. Wow, just funny. Yeah, sure. Winston's mom, look whatever you want. I feel very lost as to what to do, how to proceed. I so much FI. Sometimes I think FI is like a horrible toxin. Renders you incapable of normal functioning. I do care a lot. I want my caring not to hurt so much, ideally. I hold my breath a lot. Anything that requires TESE, hold my breath. Sometimes even if I'm inning too much, I hold my breath. What is the source of my moisture? The answer that comes to mind is being a child. Being a child is the source of my moisture. I don't know if that's a sensible answer or not, but whenever I'm in my FI, I feel like a child. Helpless, kind of. Yeah, I will always be a child to some extent. I guess that's part of being FI polar. And adulthood comes with some sort of realized relationship with one's own feelings. Don't adapt to the world, make the world adapt to you. Yeah, okay. Well. Something I used to. All right. Why don't you just actually put the actual link? I won't let you or what?
Hey there! What you're about to see is the original version of Spirit Science 2, Chakras. We're re-up SpiritScienceCentral.com.
This isn't the thing he's saying, is it? Where's the chanting one? Okay, that's all. No, that's oops, something went wrong. It still didn't work. Try another one. Cloud, Eric has a rational temperament, and the ones that try to make the world that to them, or the irrational according to that will say. Like I used to have as a model of the motto, I'm not reality's bitch. I drive reality before me. A lot of times I'm definitely reality's bitch. That's just the truth. There's no point in persisting in grandiose lies. Thanks, Matthew. You're a sweet guy. You're a lamb. Still doesn't work. The same link you put last time. You're getting it from your back end. You're getting it from the studio. You need to get it from regular YouTube. It doesn't link. It links to it links to a YouTube studio link rather than like a back end of a channel. You must have gotten it from a playlist on the back end of your channel or something. So you need to get it from the regular YouTube. Like it. I'm cosplaying INFP. You know, I'm just trying to make my way through the world peaceably, on the same team with my partner, yada yada. Well, Taylor, Matthew is sending me money because he knows I need that money to buy candy. You need money for candy too? Okay. Chop up the bong. Yeah, I should pull the bong ropes. You're right. What am I doing? I'm being terribly irresponsible. That'd be pens and light bulbs, huh? Why is bong better than smoking like a normal person? What is smoking like a normal person? Well, you wouldn't want to smoke tobacco in a bong. Hard rock, huh? All right, for $5, I'll give you $5 worth of hard rock. $5 long hours of hard rock. $5 big worth of hard rock from Matthew. Is this rock hard enough for Matthew? Probably not. He likes harder than this rock. $5 worth of hard rock from Matthew. $5 big worth of hard rock from Matthew. Hardest of rock you ever did rock. It's not soft, no, it's super hard rock. Everybody loves it cause it's super hard rock for you. For you, Matthew. There you go. $5 of hard rock. Yes, I am making that up on the fly. I am an ENTP after all. It's what we do. This is the last bong hit of the Gorilla Glue number 11. And what I have out in the car is Gorilla Glue number 4. The 11 was better. I finished it first. But 4 is not bad. 4 is not bad at all. I've watched a couple of episodes of Full Metal Alchemist. I don't remember the colon brotherhood after it though. But I have watched a couple episodes of Full Metal Alchemist. I didn't really like it. I watched more One Piece than I did Full Metal Alchemist. But I watched One Piece on American TV dubbed. I didn't watch it subbed. Unlike Naruto, which I watched entirely in sub. Okay, Cloud. Now, that's obviously not true. That's just crazy talk. There's anybody who thinks that Mia is a better ESP than Naruto. No. What did you just say, Cloud? Naruto is kind of lame sometimes? Did you take extra wrongness pills this morning? You must have. You must have taken extra wrongness pills this morning. Because I've never heard so wrong a statement. Okay, actually, I'll tell you what. In the filler episodes, the filler episodes in Naruto are kind of lame. I agree with you. But the non-filler episodes, not lame. Listen, I only got a few wrongness pills left, Mrs. Mom. I can't share any of them. I might have to be wrong later. Whenever I need to be wrong, I need to take a pill first. Because otherwise, I'll be correct. That's what I would say to that, Cloud. That's what I would say to that. That's all I would say about that. Bruce Wayne. Okay, now listen. That's an excellent fight to pick. That is, you are making a good call there. That is not a bad choice. I'm trying to think of a better one. That's a great one. Might guy. I'm gonna go. Ooh. Well, I mean, okay. How about Sakura and Grandma Choji-sama? Is that her name? Versus Sasori. That's a pretty good one, right? How about that one? Oh, lame. Am I going full Susano? It's so you are really taxing my SI here. I'm going back through the episodes and stuff in my head, and it's so much Naruto to go through in your head. It's just impossible. Yeah, that Mike Guy fight is pretty exciting. When Mike Guy opens up all the gates finally, because you've been waiting for him to open up all the gates forever, right? It's like, okay, I want to see what happens when he opens all the gates up. Cloud, why are you just making pointlessly provocative claims all the time? Why? Pain versus Naruto was not really much of a fight, really. You know, Naruto walks up, finally catches, figures out where he is. Eric, you want to live stream? How many followers do you need? I don't know. I would just live stream. The thing about live streaming is you've got to be okay with the fact that sometimes there's not going to be anybody there. There's just going to be one person there. You start off with very few people. If you're watching that number at the top a lot and making sure that you got sufficient people for you to feel like it's worth it or something, you're going to have trouble maintaining the live streaming thing. It's like, for me, when I started doing all the YouTube stuff, I went through long periods of a very, very little attention from anybody, you know, but I just persisted anyway because I wanted to talk all the shit out that I wanted to talk out. And eventually, you know, you start to gather an audience. It's difficult to do anything fast, but I would suggest that if you wanted to do something fast, you'd have to take an approach like Eric Thor, who rapidly passed me, or Psychology Cognitive Theories, or whatever his name is, who probably will soon pass me, because people want what they want, and this is not what the majority of people want. I mean, I appreciate all the 12 people who are here, because you are the special variety of people who seem to enjoy hanging out with me. It's not a vastly large number of people who enjoy this kind of content and who enjoyed this experience of chatting with me on the live stream. So, you know, if it is what it is, if I can go into my ISFJ for a second. Here comes my dad. Yeah. What's up?
I got a problem.
What's that?
Well, come on in, Kitty. Okay. This right here. Well, come on. I have to close the door. It's hot. It's cold in here. Come on.
Okay, why don't I just connect you to my Wi-Fi instead, okay?
There you go. All right. What?
I said, I'll just connect you to my Wi-Fi instead, okay? It'll be easier.
Well, what's wrong with that? I'm not getting any notifications, and I'm not getting any.
Well, because you got crappy Wi-Fi, Dad.
It looks like it's Earthlink because Google's coming along just fine.
Well, look, you're probably on your phone. You're getting data through your phone. Okay, so you don't have to have the Wi-Fi, but you're better off with this one. There. Now you're on my Wi-Fi, which is lightning fast. So you don't have any problem now.
All right. Now, so now I should be okay?
Yeah, you're fine now. And you should never have any more problems with it. Because now you're no longer on your horrible internet. Okay, so live stream friends. Live stream friend, keep it simple, Libra says, hi, Erstad.
I'm still not getting the.
What are you trying to do?
Okay, I'm supposed to have 7 messages. I'm getting 2.
Oh, that's not via internet. That is your that's your data. So let me see here.
Yeah. You want to get fed, I know.
Oh, you mean the number 7 there? It's because there are 5 messages here that are unread. 5 of them are right here.
Oh.
And then, oops. And
Well, I
then,
don't need them. You can go ahead and.
And then this one is 1 here. And there's 1 here.
Yeah, those pictures.
This is.
Well, you just friendly this morning.
Did you request this B of A code?
Huh?
Did you request this B of A code?
Oh no, this is fine.
So you did request that?
Yeah.
Okay, then cool.
I have there's a 2-phase, 2.
Yeah. Okay, good, great.
Okay,
so yeah, you're good. Friends, I am going to end this live stream now, so I can go help my dad get my mom up from bed.
All right. Well, I can't feed you. I'm not going to feed you.
And you have food, kitty.
All right, so I'm okay.
Yeah, you're fine. You're good.
Well, there was an email we got from the storage people, and they said, yeah, they have the lock, but I can't find it anymore.
The email?
Yeah.
Where did you read it? On your phone?
Well, it was on my email last night. I was going to show you, and then I can't find it this morning. And then I'm not getting any incoming mail. If I go Earthlink, it doesn't work. But I went Gmail, and then I get me. But if I go here, let me show you. Okay, I'm going to go send myself a